The 2025 PGA Tour season is around the corner. Today's video is all going to be about my top picks for the tournament, what to watch out for, and what we can expect at the Plantation Course, Kapalua. Without further ado, let's get into it. This is the opening tournament of the 2025 PGA Tour season. It's one of 8 signature tour events. What does that mean? Well, it's a limited field. Things have changed from previous years. We're not going to see Jon Rahm. He won this tournament in 2023. We're not going to see Brooks, and we're not going to see Bryson. This is PGA Tour only. The field is made up looking like being 59 players at the time of filming this. In previous years, this tournament would have had high 30s and it would have strictly only been champions. Now the qualification process has changed slightly as we come into the 2025 season opener. You could be top 50 in the world come the second event of the FedEx playoffs. That means Justin Thomas, even though he didn't get a win in 2024, he makes it into this event. There's the first name I want you to look out for. The Plantation Course at Kapalua, it's known to be a little open, a little forgiving, a little easy off the tee. But the weather is going to play a factor. Because we're out in Maui, the grass used on the greens is Bermuda. So you want to pick and look at players that can be streaky when it comes to putting. As I would work this event on the PGA Tour, you're looking for putters that you could set up with a slightly different loft. So if someone uses a mallet with the CG further back, that's going to get up above on the Bermuda grass. It's all important because you're not looking for your guy that putts good week in, week out. These types of greens require that player to be streaky. The golf course was redesigned and reopened early 90s. It's a core Crenshaw golf course. Off the tee, as I alluded to, accuracy doesn't come into play that much, but short game is critical. The 2024 winner, Chris Kirk, had an up and down rate of 82%, so there's a premium that comes onto the short game. As I dive into Chris Kirk's shot quality overall, and I'm going to explain what that is, but keep in mind, average tour player shot quality is 100, and Kirk was 108. But getting into his short game, he had 27 around the green shots in 4 rounds, but his play around there was unbelievable. His shot quality was 119 when it came to the short game. Now, what are you talking about, Trotty? Why aren't you alluding to strokes gained? Because this is clip data. Shot quality takes into consideration all the weather factors, how firm that green is, where the pins are located. Everything comes in as to how good that golf shot is. A perfect golf shot in any scenario is going to be 200, providing the skill level required to hit the perfect golf shot is 200. Hence why overall average for the PGA Tour lives at 100. So if you have a player whose short game is ridiculous, then they can get up and score well at this core Crenshaw design golf course. Hence why we look back at last year. If we talk about Jordan Spieth and we look at his details and data around the greens, then we can see that in the previous year, he was phenomenal when it came to chipping. A similar story here, 148 average shot quality around the greens, which, to be honest with you, is off the charts ridiculous. So other areas that we look to in the clip data to find out who might be someone who's worth watching at this, well, Kapalua is a par 73. You're going to have to then play par 5s well in order to score well. Yes, it's for getting off the tee. We've talked about that. But par 5s will be a factor. As I dive into who's played par 5s well in the previous season, it brings up 2 names, and they could be ones that you want to look at as an outsider. Aaron Rai being one of them, and Adam Scott. Both of them drive it well, but they do score well on par 5s. This type of data is all things that you can use for your game. I'm going to stick the links to Clipped down below. It's not exclusively for the tour. So if you want to measure your game in 2025 as you look at your own statistics and how you can grow as a player, this will now break down your scoring. Keep in mind, Scott and Rai, great at par 5s. That's going to be a factor as to who does well. Not necessarily saying that they're my 2 number 1 choices, but they're names that you might want to consider. As we then move into who would I look for, Collin Morikawa has played well at this tournament. He came 5th last season. His numbers stand out. As we look at the history of Collin, we know he's a fantastic iron player. We know he's a good driver of the golf ball, but I've said to you, that's not a key part of playing here. But what certainly is, 1 year ago, his average around the greens on his short game was 102. He's now moved that average of shot quality up to 108. So that is the sole reason why you can't rule out Collin Morikawa. He'd definitely be a player that I would consider. Again, I'm looking at how these players trend coming into this tournament. Are they amazing putters? Can they be streaky? Justin Thomas has been unbelievable. As I go through the notes of the golf course, he's won twice at this tournament. He's had great finishes at this tournament. He didn't play the PNC Championship, the father and son tournament. So he's strictly focused on being on Maui and getting a result that he wants to kick off his 2025 campaign. That is definitely a name that I would pull out here. Absolutely someone you should watch. And then, of course, there's no Rory. He's not playing. But it leans you towards a player that just can't be written off. Is it a great return on your gambling? Is it a great return on your betting? Maybe not. But Scottie Scheffler's golf game, off the charts. We know he's a good putter when it comes to Bermuda. We know his putting can be streaky. Bermuda I like. He's got the mallet putter. He's going to be amazing off the tee. He's going to be close to the flags. And we know he's unshakable when it comes to his own golf game and getting those victories. The fact that it's a signature tournament isn't going to hurt him at all. He'll be well on line to winning the big prize fund. I mean, hell, he's coming in with a bunch of crypto from the tournament he just played in Vegas. So his mind is in a good spot to kick off the 2025 campaign. So there you have it. I'm pretty much going with 5 names that I would look for. The par 5 excellence in Aaron Rai and Adam Scott. Yes, I do really like Justin Thomas. Follow him on social media. No, he hasn't achieved his 2024 goals. No, he's in this tournament wanting to get off to a hot start. No, he's focusing on this one, solely this one with no PNC. That means a lot to him and his dad to play in it. Absolutely a name you've got to look at. Looking at Jordan Spieth and Chris Kirk's performances prior year means short game is everything. So I think with that, you've got to then throw in Collin Morikawa. And sadly, fantastically at this stage, you can't talk about a tournament that is as big as this without mentioning Scottie Scheffler. Absolute baller right now, and someone who's going to be massive in 2025. If you like what you're seeing in this video, be sure to subscribe below. Hopefully this helps you with getting maybe some bets on or your own game as 2025 comes. I will do this for next week's tournament, which is going to be Sony, and we'll see how we get on through the West Coast swing. Do you think I can predict the winner from my 5 names? Dive in the comments down below and let me know. Let's see. It's going to be an awesome start, a good event to kick it off, and something we're all going to be looking for over the holiday period.